What's up, nobody? Because nobody's on the stream yet. I'm gonna just set up everything so that if you're watching this after the live stream, you guys can kind of see what's going on. But I'm basically going to be following along with all the chat. I'm just setting everything up right now, and then I'll talk to you guys. I got a couple things I want to talk about, and then we can kind of have a conversation, hopefully on the live stream. All right, we got a couple of people coming in already. This is good. I hope you guys can hear me properly. We got Two Tech. What's up, man? Nick Truskowski. What's going on? And Green Tools NYC. What the fuck is this? This is a live stream, yo. I don't know why I said yo because I'm 34, so whatever. But, so yeah, we've got some people coming in, 12 people watching. So I guess I'll get started. Basically, I wanted to kind of have a conversation with you guys today, and I haven't live streamed in over a year. The last time we live streamed was when I live streamed personally on this channel was back when we bought the Aston Martin last year, and that was back in last January or February. So it's been a year, and yeah, I wanted to engage with you guys because since last February we have probably more than 15 or 16,000 new subscribers on the channel, so I thought it was a cool time to just say hey and have an open conversation. Some news first that I wanted to tell you guys about. There is a really exciting thing that is happening on the channel, and that is the Aston Martin, as of this Saturday, will be sold. So I owned the car for a year, drove it for a year, and it's going to another good home. I have a buyer that's coming in. It's going to be picking him up from the airport, and hopefully he'll drive home the same day in it. And he's flying in from somewhere else in the country, and he is not a YouTuber. So it's exactly what I wanted to have happen to that car. It's not going to be on YouTube anymore. It's going to a good home, an enthusiast that really loves the car and knows the car from the channel, through Doug's videos, through Freddie's videos, and through our videos. So I think it'll be really cool, and a good home for that car. So that is the big news, and because of that big news, we'll be able to do more on the channel with some more budget, which is really cool. I will be getting another daily driver with some of that money, and I'll hopefully be able to finish this car, the Volvo V70R, with all of that money too. So it's really exciting. I think the next 2 to 3 months on this channel are going to be really, really fun. And with some of that money, maybe that will help seed the next project after this thing gets done. All right, you guys are saying the lag is real, so I'm actually going to disconnect from my computer. All right, so I've disconnected from the internet from my computer. Hopefully that helps. I'm just going to swing around to the other side and see if that helps at all and if the lag is a little better. All right, you guys, the lag seems to be fixed. I guess disconnecting from my computer was good, but Hanson is in the chat, so thank you, Hanson, for handling a bunch of these questions. I'm not going to be able to see a lot of them. That was part of the whole thing, was to have a Q&A, but we do have a couple of questions from some of our Patreon supporters. I asked you guys that do support us on Patreon if you had any questions first and foremost for us to talk about, and I wanted to address those first. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/shiftinglanes. Once we hit the $100 per month mark, we're going to add tiers and different bonuses for you guys, whether that be free stickers, free swag. We're still kind of working that out. It might be meetups with us, it might be drives with us, not sure exactly what it's going to be, but if you support us on Patreon, that will be part of the offering. As soon as we hit $100 per month, and then the tier structure will kind of build out from there. And it will be really, really cool and really, really fun because we want to engage with you guys and we want to give back to the Volvo community, which has been so welcoming to us. So anyway, since the lag was totally crazy at the beginning, the big news is that the Aston Martin is sold. As of this Saturday, if everything goes to plan, the Aston Martin will be off the channel. I know we haven't made a ton of videos about it. It's been about 8 to 10 videos on that car. I think it's 10 videos on that car. And the last time I live streamed was last year. It was actually last January or last February when we got that car. And it was, you know, I just got an Aston Martin, Ask Me Anything. So yeah, I thought I'd come out and engage with you guys and just give a little bit of an update on that. And with that money, we'll be able to seed a new daily driver for me. This will be my full-on project car after that. I'll get a new daily driver. We also will use some of that money to help seed the next project after this Z70R is done, and hopefully do some other stuff on the channel that you guys will like. So that's the big news. I'm really excited that the car is going to a good home. The person knows the car through Doug DeMiro's videos, through Tavares's videos, and through our videos. So yeah, really excited to give it to an enthusiast that's not going to be making YouTube videos about it, that will actually really just enjoy the car for what it is, a really cool car. With that being said, let's get into some of the questions. I have them here, preloaded, and as I said, these are from some of our Patreon folks. The first one comes from, I think I saw him on the, stream, but Thomas W. He asks, what drew you three to Volvos? That's an interesting question because we've gone full Volvo project car on this channel, and what drew me personally to Volvos was the old BTCC, or British Touring Car Championship racing, where they took the 850 wagon and they put it against all the British Touring Car sedans and they raced it, and they were pretty competitive. I don't think they maybe have won a race or two. I don't think that they won any championships, but they were competitive, and that was important, and that led to the S40 being very, very dominant with Ricard Rydell racing for them back in the late 90s. And that really is what drew me to Volvo, is watching those old videos. And the car that I had out of college was a Honda Accord. I was actually shopping it against used Volvo S40s at the time. So I've always been into Volvos in sort of a casual manner. When we got our first V70R and had that opportunity to buy that car, it was really, really cool to kind of see a casual enthusiast part of my life come to fruition. Since then, we've had our Volvo following grow, and that's really what led us to go full Volvo on the channels, because of you guys. You guys gave us such an amazing response to the first gray Volvo, this Volvo, and now Chad's C30 and Hanson's S60R. So the reason what drew us to Volvos was a casual, man, that thing's loud, isn't it? Screw trucks. I'm on the rooftop of a garage, if you can't hear me, because there's nowhere else to go really, and I didn't want to do it at a park where there is no service. But the reason why we got into Volvos was because of your guys' response to our videos and just a casual enthusiasm towards them for a long time. His second question was, what kind of professions do you guys come from? Like, what's your background and why do you do this now as a profession? Well, the first thing is, we don't do this as our full-time job. This is not our full-time job. We do this as a passion project. You know, we would love to build this into something where we can make it a full-time job, but you know, knowing YouTube and knowing strategy and knowing how channels build over time, unless, you know, every one of our subscribers gives $1 on Patreon, which would be nuts. It's like, that'd be like 25 grand a month, which is totally bonkers to think about. Outside of something totally ridiculous like that happening, we're gonna be having our day jobs for the majority of the next few years and doing this as a side project, because YouTube, you know, everyone makes money from YouTube, and there's a great video by StreetSpeed717 if you want to go watch that. I'll link it in the description below after the live stream, where he talks about YouTube revenue and YouTube earnings. We make some money from YouTube, but it really isn't a lot. It's not a ton, and to support 3 project cars, especially old Volvos, it's not a ton of cash. It's enough to keep the business going, along with the website and other ventures like sponsorships from FCP Euro. But it's not enough to really be like, hey, let's build 3 cars all at once. I mean, even the big boys like vehicle versions that get, you know, crazy views, Doug DeMiro, they make a lot of money. But when you're still small, we only have about 250,000 views per month. So it varies from month to month, but that money is really good. So we utilize that and roll it right back into the business. We actually take no money from this at all. So we use some of our personal money, we use some of the channel money to build these cars up. And yeah, that's basically the setup to this, is we don't do this as a profession. What we do as a living is very, very different. Chad is a assistant pro at a golf course, a local golf course. Hanson works for the U.S. Army in design and development. And I am a marketer by trade. I work in pharmaceutical advertising, making educational and promotional materials for the drug reps to sell to the doctors. We also build their websites and things like that. So we come from 3 very different professional backgrounds, and I think that actually makes it really cool to diversify exactly what we do on the channel. Coming from 3 different backgrounds professionally, we each bring something to the table, so I think it's kind of fun to think of it in that respect, and I think that actually shines through in our personalities as well. Really good questions, Thomas. Next one is from Wilson Romano. He asks, if you didn't hear that, it's from Wilson Romano. He asks, is the C30 an underdog? And I asked in what respect, and he said just in general, in reality. And I think yes, I think the C30 is an underdog because in the Volvo community, it's respected as, you know, this little hot hatch. You can all-wheel drive swap it. You can tune the engine to 300 horsepower and a bunch of foot-pounds of torque pretty easily. But overall, it doesn't really get put in the same conversation as the WRX, the Civic Type R, the Focus RS, any of those hot hatches, you know, Golf R, GTI. I think that it's an underdog in the respect that it's not really respected in the enthusiast community outside of Volvo. And I think that that's part of the reason why it drew Chad to purchasing that car as his project car, because it is kind of an underdog, and it's kind of a cool car in that respect. And to see something like that be able to take on a Civic Type R, which is the whole point of that build, is something that's really, really neat, and we really wanted to see, like, can we do this? That's the same thing with the V70R. I think the V70R is an underdog. I think Volvos as a whole are underdogs. You never think of Volvo and you say, oh yeah, that's gonna be, you know, a really good performance car. Your mind always goes to a BMW or a Mercedes or an Audi or what have you, and you never think Volvo first, which is why we got this, to try to beat an M3, which is why Chad got the C30, to beat a Civic Type R. So we wanted to prove that with, you know, not a ton of cash, that's, you know, neither here nor there anymore, but you can build an equivalent car and beat that car with a car company or a certain car that doesn't necessarily meet normal expectations. So we think of ourselves as underdogs on this channel. We're still small, still growing. We think the same things of Volvo, and we want to continue to elevate Volvo to be just a really cool brand. Which it is, which I think it is. Oh no, stop doing that. My internet keeps connecting, so that's why I'm trying to disconnect it right now. Alright, so that disconnected. So great question from Wilson, and cheers from the US. He's in Brazil, so that's awesome. We have a bunch of different fans all over the world, which is really, really cool. Next question comes from John S. on Patreon. What is your biggest regret about owning a Volvo? Man, that's a loaded question, and I think a lot of the Volvo people will say, yeah, that is a really loaded question, because Volvos break, cars break. You know, you can ask that question about any project car, or any car in general, because everyone's gonna have a regret unless you're owning a freaking Pagani or a Koenigsegg or something. But biggest regret personally about owning a Volvo is buying the automatic and not waiting for the M66. The automatic was good, and it's a good cruiser car, but man, the engagement of this manual transmission is just so much better than the automatic in the same P2 platform. I sold the gray Volvo to a local gentleman, and his name is Joran, and he's very, very friendly and a super nice guy. He bought it. He's done some work to it, so I really want to get that car back on channel and do a compare between this one and the old one to see, you know, did I make a mistake in selling it and not M66 swapping it, or did I make a mistake buying this one and selling it? I really think that that would be cool. But yeah, my regret is, you know, going full force into the gray one without really doing a ton of research. I knew that there was a manual, but waiting is really the thing, because when you get excited about a car and you have the money for it, you really want to go get it. I urge patience to a lot of people that really want to go out and get a project car, waiting for the right one, because everything will line up after that. Other than that, I have no regrets because this thing is so much fun to drive. It sounds great. It handles well. Maybe the other regret is, you know, not setting the parking brake on my WRX, so maybe a self-burn and having it smash into this thing at one point. But other than that, no regrets. I love Volvo. I love the company. I love the community. I love the ethos behind Volvo as a brand, behind the community as a whole. And yeah, no regrets other than that. Second part to that question from John S. Dream Volvo, exact specs, money isn't an option. Well, I really would love to buy the new Polestar 1, but that I think is a little bit different, but in a way that I think it's going to be all electric and blah, blah, blah. But after thinking about that all of last night, I think my dream Volvo would be a V60 Polestar, and in like either jet black or the Swedish racing green. I think that would be a really cool car to own. There's a local guy that has reached out. He has one. I'm gonna end up driving it on the channel hopefully very soon and comparing it to the V70R, and that's pretty much it. So I think that driving that might be a dream killer. I'm not sure, but as it sits without having driven the car, I love the way the outgoing V60 Polestar looks. I really want that car in my garage as of today. We'll see after I drive it, but that's pretty much it. And that does it for the questions from Patreon. Thank you guys so much for giving your questions on there. If you want to support us, go on Patreon, donate however much you want. You can donate $1, you can donate, you know, $100, whatever you want. And then again, once we hit the $100 tier, we'll do some bonuses and really cool things for you. I'm going to swing around the camera to see if there are any other questions. Hanson, if you could maybe drop some really quick in the chat so I can look. And then I will be right back to answer more for you guys. So give me 1 minute. That's something I actually didn't mention. Oh, I just hit my head. At the beginning, we saw the ghost slave. I believe that's Thomas. I forget who it is. I know who it is, but I forget. I'm sorry. Just donated $10 on Super Chat. Thank you so much. That is awesome. That's another feature that YouTube had rolled out last year that we're just trying out today. If you want, you can actually give a certain amount of money. I think it's up to like $1 or more, and your chat will actually sit right up top where we can answer the question even faster. So if you guys want to do that, great. If you don't, that's cool too. I just like having this open conversation and showing you guys that we want to engage with you and we want to have you know, a relationship with you. We don't want to just be like, hey, here's our video, watch it. We want to actually do things, which is why I'm really excited for the spring, because we're going to come to a ton of meets. We're going to Carlisle this year. All 3 of us, I believe, are going to be there. We're going to have all 3 of our cars, and if everything works out, maybe we'll even have more Volvos for you there. So stay tuned for that, and we will see. But I think there was 1 question or 2 questions. I'm going to find out what they are, and I will be right back. LB, hi from the US. Thank you for tuning in from Sweden. Mike Shoop, you are welcome for all of the Volvo content. We love that you guys are reacting to it, and that it's just awesome. Super amazed that you guys all watch this. Thank you so much. Lion gasp. Oh, okay. So 2 questions that came through. What is the first mod you'll be installing? Well, this car has been built up a lot, actually, if you were watching the channel since last year. If you haven't been watching the channel since last year and you're just viewing this for the first time, this is a 2005 Volvo V70R. We've done a lot to this car. We have a full turbo back exhaust from 88 Fab, which, shout out to 88 Fab. Unfortunately, 88 Fab is no longer making downpipes or exhausts for the time being. The guy named Josh, who's a friend of mine now, he's really cool and an amazing welder. Like, if you looked at the welds on this thing, you would be utterly just aghast with how amazing they look. It is just welding porn at its highest level. So Josh, you're a master, you're awesome. The reason why he's closing down is he has a new welding job, and congratulations to him for that. He is doing some welding work for a local enthusiast and build shop, and he has to focus on that now. But you know, he might start up 88 Fab again in the future. And we have one of his downpipes and the full turbo back exhaust, which I believe is a 1 of 2 example he ever made. I believe us and a woman named Mary have the exhausts on our car, and that's it. So this thing is an exhaust unicorn, and that sound you won't hear anywhere else other than that one other car. So really proud and really excited to have that on this car. We also have a snab intake with a RS4 3.25 inch MAF and the appropriate piping kit. Those are our 2 biggest mods so far. We also have a Hilton Stage 2.5 tune, and there also is an IPD boost gauge in the front, which I installed in a previous video. You can go check that out on the channel. So we've done a bunch to this car. There is a lot more to come. We have an intercooler from Snab to install. We also are going to be swapping the turbo on this. We're going to be likely going with bigger injectors, and we're probably going to be shimming the block. So with all that said, this thing definitely, at least in a straight line, will be able to absolutely slaughter a BMW M3 very, very soon, which is why I'm excited for the spring, because I want this car done by Carlisle, and to do that race basically in the spring. We'll get this thing on track, we'll get it on the drag strip, we'll get it on either an autocross course or a track, and see what it can do against the BMW M3. Also to mention, this car came equipped when we bought it with BC Racing coilovers, which you can find on fcpeuro.com. I believe it's about $1,000 for the kit, and a friend of ours, Alex, just bought it. So it'll be interesting to see what his thoughts are from a broken 4C system to the BC Racing coilover system. Personally, I think that it is a night and day difference. From a handling standpoint, KWs are going to be the best. BC Racing coilovers are probably second, and 4C is third. From a cruising and overall best suspension standpoint, from a street and track perspective, I think the BCs probably have everything beat from a most usable standpoint. So that's what we have done on this car. You can check out the videos for this car, as well as the C30 and the S60R on the channel. There was another question also from Lunatic Asian. He and I have been going back and forth on Facebook just on a couple things, and his question was, do you think the automatic compares to the M66? I sort of mentioned it a little bit before. I don't think it really compares as far as how the car drives in a shifting perspective. Now that's a silly thing to say between a manual and an automatic, but the engagement of a manual is great, but taking the transmissions as they are, the M66 is a far superior transmission because it seems to, 1, hold the power a little bit better from what I've been reading, and 2, it just seems a little bit, it's a lot faster. The automatics now in 2018, 2019 are really good, and they're much faster than manual transmissions. Back in 2005 or 2004 through 2007, automatics were still getting up to speed in your normal cars, where they weren't exactly at that level yet to have that quickness within each shift. Dual clutches, sure, you know, in your supercars and hypercars and really high-end sports cars, sure, but in daily driver cars, you know, not really. A really good example of this is Hansen on the channel. He owns a Hyundai Tucson, which I affectionately call the Tucson, but that has a dual clutch transmission in it, and it's really interesting when that thing shifts. I've driven the car and ridden it and driven many different Hyundai offerings, including the Santa Fe, but that one specifically with a dual clutch transmission, it's much, much faster than you would get in, if, say, the Tucson had a manual transmission. It's very quick, it's very good, and you get these automatics, these traditional planetary gear sets with like a ZF 8-speed transmission, which a lot of people may know is something that's in a ton of cars, including the new Supra and BMW Z4. The way that thing shifts and how it shifts and how complex it is and how good that transmission is overall is way better from a shifting speed standpoint to a traditional manual transmission. But in this car, the manual far exceeds the automatic as far as drivability, as far as smoothness is concerned, and it's just much more fun, I believe, driving a manual than an automatic. In certain cars, the automatic is necessary. Like if you get a car that's over 500, 600 horsepower, I really think you need the paddles at that point, because it's really tough to control a car with 500 or 600 horsepower with a manual transmission properly. You really, really have to know what you're doing. 99% of the people in the world, they will run out of talent far quicker than that car will run out of anything. So I think you need that when you get up to that power level, and say an F-Type R, you know, the M5 now, things like that. But in cars like this, 300 horsepower, Mazda Miata, like stuff like that, get the manual. It's always going to be better. It's always going to be so much more fun. Good questions. I'm going to swing around, see if there's any more, and I'll be right back. This thing keeps connecting. Sorry guys, I disconnected again. Alright, so next mod for the V70R. The next mod for the V70R, as I said, is shimming and block, new turbo. We do need to do some exhaust work. I think the exhaust work, it got a little messed up last time we were on the dyno. I think the middle of it actually got caught, and one of the V-bands is not appropriately tightened. I went underneath and tried to tighten it a little bit, but that's the next mod. I think that the shimming, the turbo, another tune, and getting this thing in a good place is what's next as a whole. The next thing I'm going to do on this car is the all-wheel drive system, because I've been alluding to it in the last few videos, and that needs to be done because currently it's a front-wheel drive car. So with that being said, I believe that the all-wheel drive system will be the next thing. I'm going to get this thing up in the air, take the drive shaft off, and do the full Haldex 3 service. I'm going to fix one thing. I know what's going on here. Davis, thank you so much. $5. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Wish me luck on my C30 bidding on Friday. Dude, good luck. I really hope you get that C30. And I'm so stoked to see another Volvo enthusiast in the community. Moose Tech 1, hilarious. All right, so we have a question from Rich Forsyth, who is probably, from what we've read and from what Chad has been telling me, the foremost C30 expert in the United States. He is the guy that does the all-wheel drive swaps. So everyone say hey to Rich, which is Moose Tech 1 in chat. Rich, you're awesome. Chad Hansen and I have all been in contact with him, and he is the C30 guru, like I said. His question is, how bad do I think the C30 is going to beat me up in the next race? And I think it is going to be literally not at all, because I don't trust Chad's driving. I think I'm a better driver. I think the V70R is a much faster car. It's already pushing 292 at the wheels. We know that before the intercooler, the C30 was pushing 221 at the wheels. That is a big gap, and I know that there's a 1,000 pound difference in these cars, but I think that the V70R is going to win overall. I really want to do the all-wheel drive swap with the C30 and get that thing to like 300, 350 crank horsepower, and do this at around 400, 450 crank horsepower, because I think that will be a really interesting race, especially with both of them having all-wheel drive. However, that being said, I'm not gonna, that was kind of a joke. I'm not going to be too cocky, because one, we were not using really great equipment in the Sibling Rivalry Part 1 race. We were basically just using a refreshing iPhone, which is not ideal. So we're going to get proper equipment. We're going to go to a track, and it's going to be a lot better the next time around when we do the drag race and when we do all three of these cars on track. The C30, I think, is a really, really awesome platform. And personally, I think it's going to be the best performing car out of all three of ours once these are fully built, because of how light it is, because of the potential for all-wheel drive, and because the front-wheel drive system is it's not really that advanced, but you can make it a lot better with a Quaife LSD. You can make it better with appropriate tires and wheels, which Chad has, which get you guys basically excoriate them every video for, but we all like the wheels, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that the C30, and going back to that original question, the C30 is really an underdog in that respect, because it's not really the first thought of car to be an enthusiast and performance car outside of the Volvo community, and I think that really is what drew Chad to it, and I think that's a really cool aspect of that car, is you take that car that's sort of that underdog and you build it and make it just this like mind-boggling thing. And that's why we basically put it up against the Civic Type R as our benchmark, because that's a front-wheel drive car. We've driven that, we've all driven that, and it is just a mind F as to how good that car is. I can't stress that enough. It's quick in a straight line, properly quick, but the corners are what really just blow your mind. The torque vectoring system on that thing is just second to none these days. It really is well worth all the money from an enthusiast perspective. But I think with the right application, the right driver, the right conditions, and the right LSD and everything, I think the C30 can beat that car, especially in a straight line. With enough power, you can beat anything. So I'm really excited to see how the C30 goes. But yeah, he's not going to beat me, Rich. Sorry. The ghost slave, that's hilarious. Yeah. In Chad's last video, he did a very nonchalant e-brake turn in the parking lot to then keep talking, which I thought was really funny. But of course Chad's gonna disagree with that. I mean, he's the one that's making the other videos and wants to beat me. So, I mean, as of right now, as it stands, I'm 2-0, and the other guys are 0-2. So I have a nice leg up in this competition. Again, this is why I can't wait for spring, because right now it's winter. I'm outside. It's actually not a bad day out here. It's not great conditions in the winter. You're not going to get optimal traction, even with winter tires and wheels and whatever. So yeah, I'm really excited to get summer rubber back on all three of these cars and just go bonkers. Track, mods, strip, and just really see what these things can do. Because this thing, as it is really quick. It's surprising how quick this car is with just the tune, the downpipe, and the exhaust. So Hilton Stage 2 tune, downpipe and exhaust was one of our first things we did to this car, and man, it just really came alive. If you're just a casual enthusiast, don't even do anything more than that, because that's all you need to wake this car up. When we dynoed that, it put down 270 horsepower, and I think it was 292 pound-feet at the wheels, and that's a good amount of power. You're looking at probably 305 to 310 crank there. I can't do the percentage in my head off the bat. I think it's usually a 10 to 15% parasitic loss from crank to wheel. But you're looking probably between 305, 315 at the wheel, or sorry, at the crank, and probably in the neighborhood of 320 at the crank for foot-pounds. So that really brings this car alive, and I thought it was really, really nice to see that difference, feel that difference when we did those mods. But yeah, I think that, I mean, I think this car is the best out of all three. It's a wagon, guys. You can't hate a wagon. We need more wagons. We need more wagon enthusiasm. Team DadWagon forever. So yeah, I love this car. Give me 1 second, I'll see if there are any more questions, and we can kind of take it from there. Good question from George. Okay, so we got two, one from George and one from Joe. How long will the mods last in this car? And can you guys do more in-car content like driving? Yeah, all right, so George, how long will the mods last on this car? It really depends. I mean, it's with any car. You decrease reliability with every mod you do. That's just how mods work. If you tune a car, you're putting more stress on the engine, whether it be a small amount or a large amount. You have a greater chance of failure. If you don't beat on your car, you have a very good chance of it lasting longer. If you tune your car and make it a total track monster and then you take it to the track, you have a higher probability of something breaking. So it depends on how you drive and how you mod. Personally, for this thing, I expect these mods to last a good long while. We're not really beating on these cars other than when we're gonna do like a sibling rivalry video of drag racing or track driving, or when we go up against the M3 or the Civic Type R with either of our cars, or Hanson in autocross. The most beating up on cars on this channel that's going to happen is with Hanson, because he's going to autocross the S60R and turn it into a race car and turn it into something that he wants to beat pretty much everything with. So I think it'll actually be interesting to see how all three of these cars sort of evolve over time, because we're modding in different ways and because we're driving in different ways. So to answer the question, will the mods last? Sure, they definitely will. But things corrode over time, you know, 4 or 5 years down the line with, as you guys can see, I saw a couple comments of wash your car. I did. This is actually from the last 2 days. Not even kidding. That is how much salt is in New Jersey. New Jersey, I love the state. It gets a bad rap. I love the state. It's got some really cool roads, shockingly. It's a really nice place to live. But man, the salt here blows. It is horrible for cars, and you know that that is not just a thing I'm saying. You can literally see it, and the rust belt is real. The rust belt is real, guys. If you can, buy cars from the south, because it's just gonna have so much less rust. Hanson's car, man, it's trying to do brake jobs and simple things, the car is rusted shut. It's nuts. But things corrode over time. So Josh's exhaust that's underneath this car, you know, it may rust out in the next couple of years, and I may have to get another one. IPD exhaust with, you know, a revolved downpipe, something like that. So we'll see how long it lasts, but mods on the whole should last you a good amount of time, no matter what they are, as long as you're not beating on the car, as long as you're not like making it crazy low, stupid camber, or tracking it or anything like that. Can we do more in-car content? Yes, we absolutely can. Joe, that was a good question, and we're going to. The reason why we're not right now, and we have in the past, and it's winter. There's not a ton of driving we can do that's really interesting. So we don't want to just make a video just for the sake of just driving in a car or stuff like that, because there's not a lot of opportunities to do it in the winter. In the spring, again, it's why I'm really excited for the spring, because we can go to Carlisle, we can drive there, we'll make a huge vlog out of that. Probably one from all three of us. There's opportunities for more track driving in the spring, more autocrossing. Hanson's autocross season starts, I believe it's in March. So as soon as March or April hits, you guys are gonna get at least a driving video a week from us, because Hanson will be literally racing his car, and you guys will see how slow it is to how fast it can be, and how much better Hanson will get actually driving and becoming sort of this autocross racing god, which is also part of his goal for that car. So yes, driving content is coming. Stay with it. February and January just sort of suck for that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that we can get a nice snowstorm. We haven't really had a good one yet. We had one that was 6 inches back in November, and that was it. But I want to take all of these cars snow crossing, where we can find a nice empty parking lot, set up a little track, and just go nuts and have some fun and film it for you guys. So that I think would be really cool. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to take 2 more questions, and then I'm going to give you one more bit of news, and then I'm going to sign off for the day. So give me 1 second. Ooh, that's a really good question from the Ghost Slave. What are your plans for shimming? Will you be doing a video on all of that? Maybe a multiple part series for head gasket, timing belt, cam hubs, maybe disassembly, PCV cleaning, stuff like that. So yeah, actually that's a really good question. For the shimming, I've actually been in touch with a couple of different places, and an interesting story on that whole side of it. The whole part of this build was I wanted to do as much work as I can, but the problem is I have a child, I have a profession outside of this, you guys know that now, and time is really limited, not just for me but for all 3 of us. So we've been trying to do as much as we can with everyone, and people helping out with shops in the area, giving us us time and helping us with all of these things. I actually called around to a bunch of different shops to, one, price out shimming and see exactly what it costs. No one wants to touch it. Volvo service techs in the area, dealers in the area. I figured that they wouldn't want to do the service, but I wanted to see if they would and give me a quote. None of them. I've called, I'm not kidding, 15 to 20 different shops. No one wants to touch that. They don't even want to begin to do that outside of what their a normal Volvo service would be. So I called around to some machine shops to see if they wanted to take the engine apart and help me out with there. 5, 6 different machine shops didn't even want to touch it. So they, not really an ideal situation as far as that's concerned. What I might do is there is a shop locally on the East Coast as well as the West Coast that have offered to help out with the shipping service. So I'll leave that to the imagination, and I will maybe announce that we may be working with someone on that in the future, but they have also offered to help us out with videos if we can't be there to actually film. So it'll be really nice to work with someone that actually knows the job, and we can actually get a lot of knowledge down on video so that you guys can see that. It'll be sort of a step-by-step process. The typical way we film videos, which is give you an idea of what's going on, show you a time-lapse of what's happening, and then exactly describe it afterwards. So stay tuned for that. It'll be really good. Okay, I think one more question and we're good.
I agree. I think the Integrales do look good. All right.
So, I don't think we have any more questions, but one thing I wanted to address was what we're going to do with the Aston Martin money. If you're just tuning in, we have, oh, there's a car actually going by, so let's get out of the way first. All right, now that's gone. We've sold our Aston Martin. If everything goes according to plan, it is being picked up on Saturday by the new owner. With that cash, we're going to do a couple things on the channel. We're going to mod this car more. We're going to get a new daily driver for me, and we're going to hopefully build something else really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed just kind of having a conversation today. I think it was really kind of a neat thing to do, as well as, you know, I'll pose a question to you at this point. Do you guys want to see more live streams from us? You know, we don't do a ton of them. We kind of just do video uploads, and that's really it. That's sort of the best way to make some money on YouTube is, you know, you get the advertising money on the videos, and that's why they're 10 minutes plus long. You can do mid-roll ads and blah, blah, blah. Everyone, you know, you can kind of find that out if you just Google it. But, you know, again, thank you so much to Davis and Ghostly for donating the $10 and $5. You guys are awesome in the super chat, and I hope we answered your questions appropriately. But yeah, if you guys want to see more live streams from us, let us know. Hopefully in this year, in 2019, we'll have a little bit more free time to talk to you guys. If you want to do a live stream a week, maybe we can do that for you. A Patreon only live stream, that would be kind of cool as maybe a part of that tier structure for those that do donate. And yeah, we want to do some meets. So what else do you guys want to see? Do you want to see more live streams? Do you want to see more videos? Do you want to see us do projects outside of Volvo? How do you want to see the channel sort of grow? And you can leave that in the comments now or after the live stream is done, and we'll continue to talk it out, because I think that Volvo personally is just the beginning. I was not lying in that video I made a few weeks ago about me owning a Volvo for life. I will definitely own a Volvo for life because of you guys. The way the community has been supporting us and showing us exactly how awesome a car community can be, that has convinced me, along with, you know, I think Volvo's a really cool company as well. They take care of their loyal customers, and most people are enthusiastic about the community that work at dealers and shops as a whole, which you don't see a lot of anyway. So I was not lying. I will definitely own a Volvo for life. But do you want to see us do more projects outside of Volvo? Maybe pit a Volvo against something else, you know, down the line. A good example is, you know, we originally had an M3, but we had to sell that thing. That was just a dumpster fire of a car, so we had to sell that. But, you know, an example would be if we had the money, should we buy a CTR and put it against the C30? Where I own the CTR and Chad owns the C30. Something like that. Not necessarily that exact idea, but I want to hear what you guys think and where you guys want to see this evolve, because this channel is not just for us. We make money at it, we enjoy making the videos, but it's also for you. You know, you guys are the ones watching. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. So, with that said, give us ideas, give us your feedback. We do take it to heart, and we do try to do a little bit more of a different feel than, you know, some of these other larger YouTube channels that, you know, just say, hey, I'm doing this. I want to know what you guys want to think, or you guys want to see. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And maybe we'll do another live stream next month. And maybe we'll start, you know, like a live stream podcast type thing where all three of us chat about news and Volvo things and things like that. So that's another idea. If you want to see that, let us know in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. As you can probably see, this car is in absolute shambles. So the next couple of videos will probably be me putting it back together, doing the all-wheel drive service, and maybe have an announcement after the Aston is sold of the new daily driver. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna click the stream off, and if you wanna watch again, you can watch it again as a normal video. Should upload in a few minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys. Keep watching, keep donating, and keep just being super positive, and I will catch you next time. See ya.